All right, kids, here we are, still in lesson 5, still at level 7. We are choosing our own adventure by traversing an array list and finding or manipulating elements in that array list. And so we've done A yesterday in class, did B just now, and let's do food inventory and see what's here. And these have all been pretty much the same, so I think we'll be okay on this. So in the store runner class, we are creating an array list of item objects called items, and then we are adding to that items array list these item objects. And it appears that they have a string, which is a what it is. So sneakers, backpack, backpack, water bottle, backpack. Huh. And then that's probably a price, which is a double, it looks like. So let's go to the item class and see if we're correct about that. And there we go. So we've got the two private instance variables where it's the type of item and the price. So we peg that. There's the constructor. Type of item is a string. Price is a double. And if we were to print this out, to print out this object, it would print out the type with a dash followed by a price. And in the store runner, we create a store object called supplies, and we pass that items list as a parameter. So let's go to the store class. And here is your constructor. It takes that array list of the inventory. And what we want to do is we want to traverse the inventory list and count the number of times an item's objects type matches the parameter of item found. So if we recall, 3 backpacks occurred there. So if we used that as backpack as our parameter, it should return 3. So we are going to need something here to kind of initialize our count, which is in a primary or primitive int. So we'll call this count and we'll set it equal to 0. And we want to traverse through that array list of inventory. So I'll do a regular for loop. So I will go for primitive int I equals 0. I is less than the inventory size. And we want to increment that primitive int every time. And so if there's a match, if there is a match, we want to add 1 to the count. So if the inventory object at index I and we want the type, so that is going to be the get type method here. So if the inventory object at index I and we get the type of it, if the type, and it's a string, so is equal to the item defined. Ooh, there's a lot of stuff happening there, just like the last one. Then we want to take the count and we want to increment that by 1. And we want to return the count. So again, let's go through this. We are going to traverse the inventory array. If the object at index I will get the type of it, and if that type is equal to the item defined, we are going to increase the count by 1. Like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. So let's call the count items method and print the result. So we are going to take supplies dot count items, and we're going to print that out. And we need to pass something to this. So let's type in backpack. So this should return 3 if we've done everything correctly. But you know how my spelling is. That's it. Returned 3. And if we returned string, like that should return 0. And let's run the test. Nice. Now let's go back here to the store class for a second. Let's go back to the store class and let's do an enhanced for loop, or as we called that yesterday, a for each loop. Okay, so we'll still create a primitive integer called count, and we'll set that equal to 0. And then we'll go for, these are item objects. So for item, each item in the inventory list, right? For each item, if the if each item dot get type equals item to find, if that's the case, we want to take our count and we want to increment it by 1. So up here at the inventory, this was getting the object. Down here, we're specifying the object as each item, so we don't need to do the inventory.getIt. All right, let's run it and see what happens. And oh, let me change this back to backpack and see if it returns 3. Oh, spelled type, I spelled it as typed with an extra T. There you go. Let's run the test, make sure the test works out okay. All right, kids, have at it.